Hello everybody, Chase fan number 9 here, and today I'll be doing my race review for the GEICO 500 that concluded on Sunday. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the big story heading into this week was the new package that they were running where they have no restrictor plates, the first time in 30 years that they've raced without restrictor plate track, and from what I saw on Sunday, it was a pretty good race. Pretty good race. So yeah, so thought we were gonna see a Tim drafting. We sort of kind of didn't see it, but it is what it is. Yeah. So, and besides the package, it made the like suck up to the car in front of you, like pretty good. So I kind of saw how that worked. And also, from what I saw in practice, I saw the manufacturers working together. So that's a pretty good thing. Um, them working together. Yeah, so and it was cool to see the Toyotas, the Fords, and the Chevrolets working together in practice. But when it came to the race, I saw lots of that. But the Toyotas, I don't think they wanted to do it that much. But it is what it is. But anyways, let's get into the race. So the race got to a great. So Austin Dillon started on the pole, and Brad Keselowski led the first 7 laps. Then his teammate Joey Logano took over the top spot. Then on lap lap 11, we had a major wreck involving several cars, including Bubba Wallace, who ignited the wreck, Boyer, Harvick, McDowell, Hamlin, and Matt Tifft. Yeah, Hamlin managed to continue, but we'll get to him later. Harvick, Mc, McDowell, he took the hardest hit, and it all started when Bubba Wallace was trying to go underneath the Blaney, and it turned him sideways. Then he overcorrected and shot back up into the front of McDowell, who had basically nowhere to go, really. And from that point on, Michael McDowell's day was pretty much over. So yeah, so it was pretty unfortunate for them, Bubba Wallace. Matt Tiff had a piece of Bubba Wallace's car, I believe, or Boyer's car go through the radiator, which ultimately took him out of the race. Thought the car was going to be fixable. So yeah, it is what it is. And we saw Harvick. I'm glad that Harvick was taken out. So I know I'm mad that Bubba Wallace got taken out, but I'm not too mad because Harvick got taken. Boyer, I believe, managed to continue. Yeah, he did, but he was 6 laps down. So yeah, then the race got back to green, and I gotta admit, because Logano was good at blocking, which I have to give him props. I'm sort of kind of like Logano. I don't mind him winning, but some of the races he's won at Talladega, he didn't deserve a few of those. Ow. But other than that, it was a pretty good to see them. Then, yeah, the Penske cars led the first 3 laps, all three. Then now we go back racing, and we saw Eric Almirola leading some laps. He led like 14 of those, and then he led some later on, so it was pretty cool to see Almirola up front. And then I don't think NASCAR cleaned up the track thoroughly because Jimmy Johnson once again gets fucked over on the plate track once again. So yeah, the tire went down Johnson, but thankfully he managed to keep the car running despite being many laps down. So any Johnson fans out there, don't worry, it wasn't a big deal. I blame NASCAR for not cleaning up the track thoroughly. So Jimmy 48 fan, don't worry, we still got Dover if you're wondering, if you see this video. And so don't worry. 10 laps down, that's far better than crashing out. So, yeah, and when I meant crashing out, when I mean wrecking, I mean crashing out DNF. So it's good to see Johnson finish the race despite being 10 laps. And he managed to keep up with the pack, so that's pretty good. Strategy came into play, especially in those last couple laps in the first stage. We saw lots of drivers running out like for example Martin Truex and several others. I forgot who they were, but lots of drivers were running out of gas. And if it wasn't for that, Ty Dillon would not have won. The first stage. It was cool to see Ty Dillon win a second time in 3 races. So that was pretty good. So let's take a look at the stage result. So Ty Dillon, Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, Daniel Suarez, Ryan Newman, William Byron, Ricky Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, and Matt DiBenedetto. And that's your top 10. Now, the second stage begins. Pretty boring, but it wasn't too terribly bad. We saw Chase Elliott take the lead after those stops, and then we saw Alex Bowman. You saw Alex Bowman lead, so it was pretty cool to see Alex Bowman lead some laps. So yeah, it was overall cool to see the Chevrolet driver. From what I saw, I didn't see the Toyota drivers working that much. So yeah, it is what it is. But what cares? At least Alex Bowman did good. So I don't have much to say about stage 2, but for all I know is that Chase Elliott won. So stage 2 results are Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Daniel Hemrick, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. But the third stage is when things started to happen. So we went green for 16 laps, and then they threw a caution, lap 133 for debris. Chase Elliott was leading, so yeah, some of the cautions in the race changed the whole strategy. And we saw from what I've seen, looks like Brendan Gaughan led some laps. I think he led 5 laps, pretty good. Yeah, but anyways, then after that debris caution, we went back green. Oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Denny Hamlin, I guess the damage was too much, so I guess he went out of the race because it says that he's out. So yeah, it is what. And then during after lap 1, anyways, back to the race on lap 136, we went back racing after that, and then we had some pit stops. We had drivers play strategy. We saw Truex lead last, Logano lead, Matt DiBenedetto led some, and Ross Chastain led 9 laps. Oh my gosh. And so Ross Chastain led some laps until he had to pit. I don't blame him for pitting, but that, the drivers like that play strategy. Then after that, Ricky Stenhouse. Dang, I gotta admit, the racing in the last 30 laps was pretty damn good. I have to give props to them. So, yeah, it was pretty good. And then Joey Logano took the lead. I'm like, great, here we go. Joey Logano leading. And I'll bet he's going to win another race that he doesn't deserve. Then Kyle Busch took the lead. Well, he and Logano were battling back and forth. So then Logano led some lap. We took the lead from Busch, and thought it was good. And then on lap 183, Chris Buescher, man, got turned by Almirola accidentally, and then he got the impact from Matt DiBenedetto, who had nowhere to go, launched Buescher up into the air. And that was a very vicious crash. Justin Haley, who was having a great run. And speaking of Justin Haley, he was running up in the top 10. I think he cracked the top 10. He was running 11th, and he got shuffled back. So but unfortunately, Justin Haley's ruck pretty much ran out. Yeah, he basically had nowhere to go. So yeah, the wreck also prompted a red flag too. Yeah, so yeah, it was a pretty vicious crash. Glad to see both of them climb out of their cars. And then we had the red flag. Logano was leading. Logano led the field to the final restart, and I thought, here we go. Someone needs to make a move. It's now or never. Then I see Kurt Busch get a big run from Chase Elliott, and I see him move up the track to move Logano, and that allowed Chase Elliott to make the move for the win. So I like even more now, Kurt Busch. So kudos to him. Chase Elliott, man, if it wasn't for Alex Bowman, I don't think Chase Elliott would have the chance of holding off Logano. And then, as we're coming to the white flag, with 3 to go or something, Eric Jones goes sliding. Yeah, and I gotta give props to NASCAR for not throwing a caution for him sliding. So it was pretty good. So yeah, he went sliding, but he managed to save it. Yeah, it looked like he finished 19th. And then as we're coming to the white flag, Ricky Stenhouse looks like he either blew a tire, just got loose, and just wrecked himself. Yeah, he crashed, and he managed to get off the track. And NASCAR didn't throw a caution then, since it was an isolated incident. And if you probably saw my reaction video, I was pretty much shaking, because I'm like, this is my chance to see Chase Elliott win at Talladega, and it was pretty cool. We'll see him. Now we get off of turn 2, and William Byron or something got loose, and next thing you know, boom, there we go. And then Larson gets sideways, and then Jeffrey Earnhardt's collected, David Reagan, all those guys. And then NASCAR throws the caution, and when the race was all said and done, Chase Elliott wins his first race, gets his first win this season, the first for Chevrolet and Hendrick Motorsports, and it ends a drought dating back to October when Chase Elliott won at Kansas. So, good job, Chase Elliott. Woo! Yeah, the race ended under caution, if you were wondering. Then we saw the replay of the crash, and I saw Larson go barrel rolling down the back stretch. Never seen him flip before. Scary sight, but it was cool to see Jeffrey, David Reagan climb out. And then we saw Byron try and drive it back to the line to finish the race. Yeah, it looked like Byron finished the race, so at least Byron made it back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And you saw in the video, got choked up there towards the end of the race. I'm like, holy shit, we won Talladega. So let's take a look at the results. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece, Joey Logano, Daniel Hemrick, Kurt Busch, Ryan Newman, Brendan Gaughan, great top 10 run for him, and Almirola and Kyle Busch. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And with that, I will see you all in the next video. Good job, Chase Elliott. We're off to the playoffs now. Thanks for watching. Until then, I'll see y'all soon. Goodbye, everybody.